So President Trump wasting no time rejecting Iran's answer to U.S. peace proposal as totally unacceptable. Iran's response, quote, reportedly does not resolve the U.S. demand for commitments in advance on the fate of Iran's nuclear program. Instead, Iran is proposing an end to the fighting and a gradual opening up of the Strait of Hormuz to commercial traffic as the U.S. lifts its blockade. They want to stay in control of the strait. Meanwhile, growing tensions in the Gulf as a British cargo ship is attacked off the coast of Qatar. Our next guest says the blockade is still America's best form of leverage. Former CENTCOM Communications Director, retired Army Colonel Joe Bacino joins us now. Colonel, you think there's, the first line on your point of view is there is reason for optimism. Why do you say that?
Because Iran's changed its position, Brian, and it's changed its position towards Trump's demand. So Trump, his demand all along has been that he's been consistent. All of the Iranian stockpile has to be shipped out of the country. Originally, Iran rejected that completely. They said, we will dilute some of the Iranian stockpile. We're not going to ship anything out. I'm told that in this latest proposal, they agreed to ship some, but not all of it out. So they've moved, they've softened, they've moved towards Trump's position there. And that is really critical for Iran. That's a really critical moment for Iran because Iran views its nuclear program as a critical arm of statehood, the primary mechanism of its national defense, and its main deterrence in the region. So the fact that they've softened there really is critical. It really is a moment for optimism.
Senator Mark Kelly came out over the weekend and said that in a classified briefing, they found out there's a massive depletion of U.S. munitions, including Tomahawks, ATACMS, THAAD missiles, and SM-3s, THAAD, and Patriot interceptors. Number one, that to me sounds totally irresponsible to say. What's your reaction?
Well, first of all, folks go into these classified briefings in order to inform generate situational awareness for themselves, not to come out in public and say these things and repeat what's at a classified setting. Second of all, in the current moment, we're not at a massive depletion. We've moved our interceptors, many of our interceptors from Europe, from Ukraine, into this fight, which we needed to do. More broadly, we are in an arms race with China in terms of things like the SM-1 and SM-3 interceptors, ballistic missiles, and even more important than that, these attritable drones that'll break and that we don't need to return to us. So, that's a longer-term arms race that we need to build up. We need to really invest, and Secretary Hegseth has invested over the coming, 6 months to 3 years.
What would you do next now? What would be the next thing you would do, Colonel? Because the president's not going to, I don't think he's going to do is restart the attacks while in China. But what do you come back with this? Obviously, the president said this is, quote, totally unacceptable. So what's next?
Well, look, I think what President Trump is doing is exercising tactical and operational patience, and that's what he needs to do. I think that's what we need to do. He is the first president here to try to break Iran's nuclear program, not just with diplomacy and not just with sanctions, but with military power. So we're layering these multiple levels of pressure on top of one another. We've got diplomatic pressure. We've got economic pressure with the blockade, which is starving Iran out. And we're prepared to resume the military pressure at any time. I anticipate at some point we will resume the bombing here in some kind of, Operation Epic Fury 2. And I think that's really, layering those three types of pressure on top of one another. You reach a break point with Iran at a certain point, particularly when they get to the point where they can no longer fund or pay the IRGC.
And they might be at that point. And we got this partner called Israel, who has a fantastic fighting force, and they're ready to go. Colonel, yes, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.